We are doing something so different today. I'm gonna take you with me to get my brows off. Yeah, it's not good.
How'd that feel?
Yeah, it's not bad. And I am so nervous. I actually texted my friend today and I almost backed out. I was thinking like, maybe I don't want to do this. Like, what if something goes wrong, or what if it gets worse? You know, it's the middle of my face. What if it turns a weird color? I saw one girl that got it lasered and her brows were like super red. One of my clients, super red, like bright red. And what I have isn't that bad. I mean, at all. Like, it's not bad. My brows are okay. My artist was a really good artist, but I'm just feeling like I'm kind of over having them. This is the funny thing with brows, right? The trends change. Brow trends change a lot throughout the years. So you can kind of get a brow that's trending at the time, which at the time that I got my brows was like that ombre brow. Right? It was several years ago. That brow was really big all over social media and it looked beautiful. But because brow trends change so much from a few years to a few years, they can suddenly become very outdated. And I've been finding that my brows are making me feel older. They're so bold, they're so angular and defined that they don't have that like wispy softness that I think my face needs. I already have a pretty angular face with some stronger features. Like, I have big lips, I have like I have a big mouth, a big smile. I just want a softer brow that will give me a more youthful and fresh look that doesn't feel so done. I got my makeup done by a celebrity makeup artist named Rachel Renna, who's a friend of mine, and you guys probably saw the video. It was posted here. If you haven't seen it, I'll leave a link to it in the pinned comment below. And that was one thing that she really noticed about me, was that my brows are just so bold. And the reason that they're so bold is because they are tattooed. So I just want to like take all of it off. I want to start with like a clean canvas. I will not get them done again. Not that I don't think that they can be done well. They can, and they can be like life-changing for some people. But because I am a makeup artist, I want to have more control over how my brows look depending on the style of makeup that I am wearing, and even depending on the year and how I'm feeling and what I want to portray. It's a huge part of my creative expression. So anyways, this is ranty. I'm sorry, I didn't write anything down. I didn't plan anything. I just figured I would take you with me because why not, right? Why not? And I hope this doesn't end up with me like crying at the end because my brows turned red or yellow. That would be bad too. I just kind of want them to be gone so I can shape and change them in the way that I want to. So yeah. Let's go. So I did a lot of research on who would be the best person to remove my brows safely and effectively, and I found the same person being mentioned time and time again, and that is Lee, who owns a company called Laser Away Inc. He's based in Cambridge, Ontario, and he has people from all over the United States come to Canada specifically to see him because he specializes in permanent makeup removal. He's known to just be a master at it, and he has perfect Google reviews because his results really are amazing, and he's one of the only laser techs who touches the color red. If your brows have turned red, he can completely get rid of it, and most laser people are way too afraid to even try. I knew I was in great hands, but that didn't stop me from being absolutely terrified.
This is my phone. Look at this.
Holy smokes.
Just full of brow after brow after brow after lip.
And it's all permanent.
And I don't post anything. I post like 1% of what I do.
Yeah. So this is my question. So I got my brows done. It was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Good.
I only did it once.
Good.
I never got a touch up. You know how you usually go and you get a touch up after a few months?
Every year, and then you kind of keep on piling more on.
Yeah. So I didn't get a touch up because when I first got it done, I'm like, whoa, it's really dark. And it like scared me. And then I never did it again.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
I hear it all the time. They get out, they grab the mirror, they go, oh my God, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
They
It's
freak
like,
out. I get phone calls like, how soon can I remove my brows?
yeah.
I'm like, when did you get them done? 12 hours ago. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, make sure that they're healed.
Okay.
Do you have makeup on them now?
No. I
Okay,
have
so it's not
nothing
bad.
on them. I just have like
Good.
some base makeup,
Yeah, good.
but I didn't put anything on them. I was looking at your work and I'll tell you what my fears are because I feel like then you can be honest.
Yeah.
So this is like,
Yeah, that one was so that picture there was when I started reaching out to all these brow girls. Like, hey, listen, you don't have to turn girls away anymore.
Yeah.
I can remove all this with a laser because they were doing like a saline removal.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Like it's very
read about
abrasive. It's very abrasive, but they still try. They still want to do it. I don't like them at all because I see what happens afterwards
Yeah.
when women do this saline. They come in to see me.
Yeah.
You can see scarring on it.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
scratching it out. Then they kind of push a little bit too hard, and they kind of get right in there.
Yeah.
The women that do get it complain because they're like, oh my god, like my husband had to pick up the kids for 2 weeks. They were just scabbed for 2 weeks. I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
No scarring, no blisters, no nothing. It's going to be a little bit puffy, a little bit red. Like you pop a pimple on your face, it gets red, so it's normal. That girl came from an hour and 40 minutes away.
Okay.
I did 2 sessions on her, then we had a couple lockdowns.
Right.
And she was going to Toronto one day. She said, hey, can I come in? Yeah, come in. I broke down. She had blue, green. When she went back to that girl, she called me instantly and said, oh my God, I'm sending you all my clients.
Yeah.
She's like, everything's gone. The skin was perfect. Everything was perfect.
Yeah.
And that's just that, like I was saying before, time.
Yeah.
Break it down. During that, we get a session in, it fades out.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's gonna be different. The next day is gonna be different. The next week's gonna be different. All of a sudden, like I do color corrections for brows as well for like red.
Yeah.
So I oxidize the red ink back to dark.
Yes, I saw that.
People lose their mind because they come in wanting their brows removed.
Yeah.
But then they leave with darker brows because I've oxidized it.
Yeah.
And again, I laser it down. It just keeps on fading. They'll call me. I'll be like, my brows are still dark. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's only been a day.
Yeah.
Just give it time. So wait a couple days, maybe a week. They're faded, but they're still dark, and I just don't know what to do. And I'm like, just relax, just let it do its thing. All of a sudden, the next week they'll call me and they'll give me because you have to put pencil in.
Right.
I have to pencil my brows. I don't have any brows. I'm like, I know, like.
Oh.
So it just gradually fades, and it just goes. So it's like you just gotta trust it. Like tomorrow will be different. The next week will be different. So this girl here,
Yeah.
amazing.
So this is like my fear that they'll turn like a weird color. Like, okay, so I did makeup on a client a little while ago and she had brows, got them removed and they were like bright
Yellow?
red.
Yeah. So red is nothing.
Okay.
Red is a walk in the park. I've got clients from LA, Vegas, Arizona, New York, Texas. They
Yeah.
all come here because they have red brows and no one touches red.
Yeah, no one touches
Okay.
red, yeah.
The reds, that's easy. It's the yellow that's a little trickier. So yellow is the one where it all depends. The thing is this. On tattoo removal, there's no legislation on ink. So you never know what anyone's using. You can have 10
Yeah.
tattoos on your body, you got 10 different inks in them. It's a hit and miss.
Yeah.
Some of them are yellow, maybe 10% of them turn yellow. The
Right.
rest of them don't. I've got a million pictures you can go through.
I know, see, I'm really scared because I feel like if something weird happens, I'm going to have a freak out.
No, you won't. No, you won't. I'll walk you through it. I'll walk you through the whole thing and you'll see it's not crazy. It's not nothing.
I'm very close to backing out.
Really?
Yes, because and I'll still pay for the appointment.
No,
'cause I
why?
took up so much of your time.
No, for what?
Because I don't hate them.
Yeah, but just get them redone.
I don't ever want to redo them. That's another thing.
Okay,
I do not want to
so
do it again.
the opinion though, you have hair.
I do have hair.
So it's not going to be like you're going to be like, oh my god.
I'm not afraid of them being gone. I want them gone. I'm afraid of them turning into a weird color.
Yeah, but I can take care of all that. I have over 5,000 brows that I've removed.
So after talking to Lee for about an hour and being incredibly annoying and going back and forth on whether or not I was even going to do it, I decided to just put my trust in him because he has so much experience that I knew deep down, no matter what happened, he was going to be able to deal with it. The entire procedure took less than 10 minutes. In terms of pain, it felt a little bit spicy. I don't know how else to describe it, but it was over so fast that it didn't even matter. Lee also has this cryo machine, which is basically a tube that blows very cold air at you. And this is the best thing ever because it cools down the skin and makes the whole thing significantly less painful.
Look how brown
Oh my
look
God.
how brown it is.
They look way better, Lee! What?
Look at it.
They look way better! Oh my god! I don't know why I was expecting it to be like really It looks way better. Whatever! Oh my gosh, you were so right. I'm so glad I did it. I'm so happy I did honestly cry. I was so nervous. So I just got my brows lasered off yesterday and I have no swelling. I'm absolutely shocked. I thought I would have a ton of swelling on my face. Like I thought it was gonna swell in here and in here, but I have no swelling. I only had a little bit of swelling immediately after the appointment when I was driving home. I put a little bit of ice on it last night when I was watching a show, and that's it. And it looks amazing. I'm so happy with it. Okay, let's zoom right in. So I have no makeup on at all. And as you guys can see, that kind of dark gray pigment is now like kind of a light brown pigment. I was a little bit worried it was gonna turn either yellow or red, but luckily it didn't. It just turned kind of a light brown. I realized that this brow is actually quite a bit fuller in here than this brow, but it faded pretty equally, which is great. I'm definitely gonna go in for another session to try to get rid of any of the rest of this, especially the inner parts. It's the inner parts that I dislike the most. Like if I could get rid of all of this and I still had a bit here, I wouldn't really care. But that is it. And now it's gonna be so much easier for me to do my makeup and for me to blend it out and all of the things. So Lee was totally right, and as the weeks went on, they changed a lot. So they started off going from a gray to a brown, as you just saw, and then they started turning a greeny yellow. And I didn't even notice it until I was having a glass of wine with my husband outside with no makeup on in the natural light, and he mentioned it. So I sent Lee a video message about it, and we just made a plan to do it again in about 8 weeks. So 8 weeks after the treatment, we just made a plan to do it again. It's hard to like fully see it until you see it in real life. But it's like a greeny yellow. Like the dark is actually totally gone. If you see it in natural light or in real life, it looks a lot worse. It's like a greeny yellow. By the time I got to the second appointment, they had already changed quite a bit. They are significantly less green than they were a few weeks prior to this appointment. Lee mentioned that the brows really do change a lot after laser, and he wasn't kidding. The color will completely change over the weeks. Don't freak out, just go with it. It's going to fade away eventually. There he is. Okay. Lee, do you see how like, do you see where it is still?
Yellow, it's a little bit yellow.
Yeah. And I think a little more at the tails too.
We're supposed to bore that out? No problem.
All right, let's do it. This is the day after the second laser session. As you can see now, there is significant fading. The shading that you see is just a little bit of bruising from the laser, but the color itself is gone. I'm telling you, it is gone. A few days after that, I got a very minor scab around the brows, around that kind of bruised area, but it fell off after about 3 days. And then I was left with this end result. If you see where I started and you see after the second session, it's kind of an insane change. Now, I was going to stop here because they were pretty much gone, but I spoke with Lee and he told me to come in one more time to really try to get that yellow out, since he knew that I had that concern from the very beginning. So we did one more session, and this is how they looked the day after that third session. So it's gone. I couldn't be happier. That dark ombre powder brow is completely gone. It took me 3 sessions. You have to have some patience because it does fade more and more and more over time. I still have a tiny hint of yellow that I'm sure will be gone within a couple of weeks. There's barely anything else. So if you want to do it, I mean, it's worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are sick of your brows, or you originally got them done and you hated them, or you don't think they look good on you, then I definitely recommend going and getting them off with a laser It is possible. I am the example of the person that had it done and that it worked for exceptionally well. Make sure that when you are looking for a laser tech that you're looking for someone that specializes in permanent makeup removal, because there are a lot of things that can go wrong and it's right in the middle of your face. So you don't want to play any games with that. I'm gonna leave Lee's contact information, Laser Away Inc., in the pinned comment and in the description box below for you. This video is over.